Hello. In this brief video we will go over the basic steps of exporting grades from the eClass gradebook, and then, if needed, importing those grades into a separate course. There are several contexts in which a faculty member might choose to export eClass grades, such as to have a hard copy record of their gradebook, or to later import those same grades into a different eClass course site. For the purpose of this video, we will use a scenario of a course on eClass that has a separate but connected lab section. Let's also assume that both sections have at least some students in common. For this scenario, let's assume that the lab instructor has to export the final lab section grade from that gradebook and then import it into the lecture section of the course in order to count towards the final course grade. To begin the process of exporting grades from the gradebook, let's begin with the lab section in this scenario. Once you have navigated to the eClass gradebook, look to the left of the screen, and you'll notice a drop-down menu containing the different features of the gradebook, one of which says Export. Once you are on the Export page, look for the Export As setting, which determines what file type the grades will be exported into. Feel free to choose whichever file type is more convenient for you, but for most people this will be the Excel spreadsheet option. After choosing your preferred file format, you'll notice a series of checkboxes, each representing one of the grade items in your eClass gradebook. If you want all grades to be captured in the Excel spreadsheet, you can leave everything checked off. In this scenario, however, I only need the course total for the lab section, so I will scroll down to choose Select None, and then I will only recheck the course total. Lastly, I'll go to the Export Format options to see what options are available for my Excel spreadsheet. These options include capturing the feedback for each grade if you included any feedback messages, including the percentage equivalent for each grade, including the letter grade for each score if you set up the letter grade scale in your eClass gradebook, and the number of decimal places that will be recorded for each grade. Once you've selected all your options, then click Download and the file will appear in your Downloads folder. The new spreadsheet will contain a quick list of all the students located in the course, as well as their identifying information. There will also be a column for every grade that was captured in the export. Now that we've exported the lab section grades from the previous gradebook, now we can move forward with importing those same grades into the gradebook for the lecture section. To begin this process, you'll notice that the gradebook has an import page. Within the import page, you'll notice that there are several import options. The most straightforward for our purposes is Paste from Spreadsheet. Within the Paste from Spreadsheet page, you'll notice a box for the data from your spreadsheet. To move forward, begin by opening the Excel spreadsheet, selecting and copying the relevant data, and then in eClass, simply paste the information back in. The data may seem messy at first glance, but when you click Upload Grades, it will make much more sense. After uploading the grades, a quick preview will display, showing the same columns that you saw in Excel. Now all that's left to do is to tell eClass how to match the students on the spreadsheet to the students in your gradebook, and where the lab course grade should go. For identifying the students, start with the Identify User By area. The easiest option for moving forward is to map the students on the spreadsheet by their email address to the email address associated with their eClass account. Once email address is selected for both options, you can then move to the grade item mappings. This is where you can determine which column from the spreadsheet is being imported and where it should be located in the gradebook. As you'll notice, all of the spreadsheet columns were captured, but not all of them are actual grading information. Feel free to ignore any columns that do not contain a grade. For grades that you do wish to import, however, such as the lab section course total, you can then use the drop-down menu to tell eClass what to do with that grade. Opening the drop-down menu, you'll notice a few options. If you had already built a space for the grade in the new eClass gradebook, you can then choose that column in the list that's provided. However, if you have not yet created a new column for the new grades, then you can then choose New Grade Item. And eClass will create a new column for the grades that will be imported into the eClass gradebook. Once you are done, you can then click Upload Grades. After uploading the grades, you'll notice the new column has appeared in the eClass Grader Report, with the appropriate scores matched to the appropriate students, that being the students that were in that one specific lab section.